Cool. So we're gonna open it up today. Today's February 15th, and we're reading pages 31 through 34 in Collective Courage. Um, Today's opening question is, what is a co-op? Like, what? Let me hear what folks' interpretation so far of a co-op is. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just, you know, what is a co-op to you? Anybody want to take that on?
I can go first.
Okay, Joyous, go ahead.
First of all, good morning, everyone. So what I think a co-op is, just for I'll try to explain as quickly as I can. I think a co-op is like a community of people that have the same vision or the same goal that they want to reach and how they want to go about it, but also being able to communicate and understand on the same level as well to help move each other forward through that goals and possibly other goals they get along the way.
Mm,
That's what I think.
Snaps to that. Thank you. That was deep. Um, who else? Anybody else have want to tell me their interpretation of what a cooperative is? Okay. So I want to read a little bit of Jackson Rising. Um, a couple phrases that, or a couple passages that really resonated with me. Um, if survival, if survival is the name of the game, then men and governments must not move just to postpone violent confrontations, but seek ways and means of channeling legitimate discontent into creative and progressive action for change. Um, so yesterday we talked about how W.E.B. Du Bois said, cooperative work in the black community stemmed from rebellion, stemmed from facing oppression, not allowing that foot to just be on our neck without a fight, right? Um, so this I guess it was a quote from Kali Akuno. I don't know who wrote this part. It's actually from the book, and they have various authors. But Kali Akuno, look him up. He's a very prolific thinker in terms of cooperative thought and um, socialist thinking. Um, basically, I hear proactive, being proactive, understanding what is urgent, what is acute in our communities, right? Like we have violence that is plaguing our communities, food deserts. So, shout out to Mandela Grocery Cooperative and the Deep Cooperative. These are taking very proactive steps. And I guess in a way it's reactive, right? But I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's reactive in a sense of we see a need and we're reacting to it. But I would say it's proactive because, you could see people hungry and just say, okay, we're going to feed them. Let's get some food. I've seen people do that, go out to homeless encampments, bring them food. I believe the Deep Co-op has done that as well. But, that's one way of responding. But the other way, or another level, when I say proactive, it's let's tap into the community, get support to build this grocery store that will be there for a long time. And from this store, we can actually provide jobs. We can actually provide maybe discounts to some degree, um, or at least keep the produce at a level that's affordable. Let me go to the Instagram chat. Somebody said, when I asked what is a co-op to you, a owner worker operated business with shared managerial duties and voting rights on structure and flow, right? So being collective in your planning, that's a proactive step, right? Being able to understand, okay, this is the goal, and we're going to take these steps A, B, C, D, D, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z, right? But I really appreciate the highlight of violent confrontations. To not, we're not just trying to postpone violent confrontation. So me going to the folks where they're hungry and just giving them food, although it's helpful, does not prevent their hunger the next day and the next day. So they're gonna eventually be so hungry that they might do something rash or something that might not be good for them. Um, so we have to create opportunities to meet that need over a sustained amount of time. Right, that might be one goal. Um, Your cooperative may have a different goal in mind, but it's like understanding the levels of what's instant and what is acute and what is systemic or what is institutional. What institutions can we create to be, effective? Shout out to King Tut. I see you in the building, brother. We black. um, so these are things that are very, very important to remember. And then there was one other quote. Politics without economics is symbol without substance. Politics without economics is symbol without substance. So we could talk all day about how we need to be free, how we need to be liberated, but the Panthers broke it down real simple: food, clothes, and shelter. You know what I'm saying? These are things that we have to have met before we could talk about freedom, or we could talk about it while we're gaining it. Like I don't think they necessarily have to happen first and later, but there is a priority. Like first this, let's at least get some food in our belly. Let's at least get a roof over our head. Let's at least have clothes to wear that are clean, so we can have a certain level of self-efficacy and respect for ourselves and love for ourselves and for each other, and that will make all of our moves after that much more powerful, and will allow more substance to our words, right? I know we all have family members and friends that are dealing, maybe even ourselves, dealing with depression, and that is something that we all have to face at one point or another. But if we don't pay attention to the auxiliary things like the food, if your diet is not cool, if you're not drinking, hydrating, then it's not gonna. You can't really deal with it. You can go to a psychiatrist and they may help a little bit, but your willpower is even connected to your health. So I brought that up to say we could talk about all of these things that we want to change, but if we don't deal with the economics, we're missing like a big part of what we need to do, in my opinion, and it seems like other greats have shared that opinion as well. All right, so now let's bring it to Collective Courage, page 31. Let me see. Man, y'all know how happy I am just to be here with y'all right now. We out here gaining the knowledge, building, you know, y'all willingly coming every day to read, and that's just so hopeful. It gives me a lot of hope to for our communities, and that we are um, building bridges. I definitely want to stay tapped in with any of your ideas that y'all have after this book club. If you have a cooperative that you're working on, please feel free to share. I'm highly interested, and want to support in any way I can.
Hey, I'm gonna put my input in. My bad, sorry. So I'm
Hey,
like I said,
what's up with it?
what's up with? I know I've been quiet.
It's good.
My big mouth ass like to talk.
Hey, we love to hear it though.
I'm coming out with my own hair care product, y'all.
Oh, okay.
So, man, I'm waiting. I went to Pops. I seen him. I think it's going on 3 weeks now. I'm supposed to have it. I'm supposed to pop out in the video like Z hair care product. Surprise y'all.
Right.
But yes, that y'all want to support. I'm putting it in the community. I'm putting it on the co-op. So I'm letting y'all know because you said you input and business. We want to we're talking, but somebody got to do. So I'm gonna be the leader and I'm gonna do.
Mm.
We can talk all we want, but it has to be proof.
Hey, big
That's
love to
facts.
Z, because I've seen you out in the community giving out haircuts and helping folks
Yeah,
in
that
the
shit ain't gonna
community.
stop.
You know what I'm saying? So
Look,
yes, you really about what you talk about, and yes, you
yeah,
have my
man.
support. You know, I definitely
It's a
have
new year,
supported your
y'all, and
business multiple
it's black.
times. You
It's
good at
Black
what you
History.
do.
It's Black History Month. Look, see,
Uh,
yo,
with the shea butter. Look, you can't start no revolution and be ashy.
come on, man. I'm not making this shit up. Look,
Right. You know, take care of yourself. What's that? Oh, okay.
hair and
Make
beard
sure you
oil,
got
but
that beard. Look, I might need a
I'm
little bit
about
of
to come
that.
out with my own hair care product. You feel me?
That's big.
It's in the process. I gotta.
In the spirit of Madam C.J. Walker, you know what I'm saying? Like you
Hey,
keep pushing.
Angela Davis, whoever. Hey,
Yeah, black soap. Make sure that skin is popping.
hold on.
Oh, you
Hey,
got more?
yep, hold on. I ain't done. Nature's blessing, hair grease.
Oh, I like Nature's Blessing.
Yep.
Highly moisturizing. Yeah. So if you ever need a lineup, you ever need, some hair care products, Z got you.
Sage, get the bad energy, spirits away.
Hey, this is beautiful.
I just bought some sage seeds. I'm trying to do
black soap. See, me and Dom, you feel me?
garden.
He on the same height. He buys it from the same person. So me and Dom, my brother, we in business together. So if y'all wanna, you can holler at him, you can holler at me. It's the same place, same person. Ain't no competition or nothing. It's all love.
I love that.
Yep.
Building community, and that's what it's about, right? It's like each of our own visions can actually be cohesive and complementary and supplementary. You
Yeah.
know, we not leeches. We are in the same
No, none of that.
ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? But what I do can help you do what you do, and vice versa. You know, it's a blue ocean in our minds. It's not a small creek. You know what I'm saying? There's so much room for prosperity, and yes, Z, keep doing your thing. And I like that. Like if anybody got some new stuff they wanna promo on us, let me know, and I'll give you some time to shout yourself out because that's very important. But
But
yeah,
I'm trying to. We talking about community, and yesterday was the topic. We're making it, but we're not. We have to invest in ourselves, and we're not being selfish by. I want us to win all together because a team is everybody. Ain't just I can't just take it all on by myself. If me and Dom are in partnership, it ain't just I'm not finna outshine him. We're in it together. Ain't no who better. No, it don't work like that. At the end of the day, that's my twin, my yin and my yang. So we gonna shine together. And I want that for anybody I'm around. You feel me? My folks in the barbershop. I'm not, you feel me? It's a teamwork. Wherever I'm at. Co-workers, colleagues, friends, business partners, whatever. I'm gonna be the same person. I am to you with them. You feel me?
I am because we are. That's one of my favorite phrases. You know what I'm saying? Like I am nothing without my community, and vice versa.
And real quick, that kind of ties into your quote, Oz. Like we can be pro-black as long as we want to, but if we're not sharing in the economics with one another, if we're not building financially with one another,
we can't just hide everything to ourselves. We gotta share our ideas, and you can't be selfish. That's not growth.
We gotta generate income with one another. Yeah, we can be Black History all month, Black Lives Matter, but if we're not spending with each other and building with each other,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
That's what y'all been saying. Yep, that's what y'all been saying.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Like we could do this, but then it's just like, what are we offering? It seems like we just talking now. We gotta, you feel me? I'll be the one to put the action in. For real, I'm not playing. Look at my face. I'm dead ass serious. I don't mean to cuss and stuff. Oh, sorry.
You mean to cuss?
We on the gram and we on Zoom. I just want the folks on the gram to see We
Yeah.
active out here. So please hit us in a DM if you would like to join our conversation. I see some folks in the chat. Um, Sorry if I'm not super talking to Insta, like looking at the camera. But come join us in the Zoom, and it's all good. All right. So yeah, chapter one. Um, I'm gonna start with a little bit at
What page? You said 37?
37.
I'm ahead of the game, y'all. I'm on page 60.
I'm sorry, not 37, 31. I'm sorry, 31. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. So yes, chapter 131. Um, this tendency towards mutual helpfulness appeared even amongst the slaves. Wherever Negroes had their own churches, benevolence developed as the handmaiden of religion. They looked out for the sick, provided them nourishment with the common fare of the plantation, did not afford, and often nursed and treated such patients until they were reestablished in health. Free Negroes of the South were well known for their mutual helpfulness. So there's roots when they talk about the South being full of hospitality. You know, I think there might be some roots in our culture as black people influencing, dare I say, the South. Because I know that there are many stories in the context of slavery where we've helped each other. This book is full of them, but we also hear of the natives, Native Americans that were very helpful to blacks. Um, and we have a long history of returning that hospitality. Um, so I feel like that quote was very powerful. Um, the black churches, for the good or for bad, they've done a lot for the black community in terms of influencing culture in a loving way, right? Like Martin Luther King came out of the black church. Like we have a lot of appreciation for those. Me personally, I'll speak for myself. I have a lot of appreciation for any institution that is about what they're talking about. I grew up in a church when I was younger, and as I'm adult now, I don't really go as much, and partly because I've seen a lot of hypocrisy. Um, but in general, though, there are a lot of good examples.
This is a church.
This is a church, yes.
Churches
You,
will think
you are the church.
you ain't
That,
gotta
that's
go.
that's one thing I resonated with in the Bible is that the temple is you. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Wherever you are, so but yeah, so I have a lot of respect for the black churches, and I guess my expectation, especially knowing the history, is kind of high. I grew up in East Oakland, Seminary and Foothill, one of the hottest areas in East Oakland. Literally, I remember one time I was 15, 16, I counted. It's 20 churches in that one block radius, and
Damn.
literally one of the most dangerous areas in the East
That
at
don't
that
mean
time.
nothing.
It don't mean nothing, and so I thought the irony of
Man, the
that,
people in the church probably got something to do with all that. That's what
maybe.
I've been told.
Maybe,
No,
but
I
but all,
know.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not putting it past anyone. I just feel like the reality is we can have all of these situations of churches on every block, but if the economics isn't changing, what is the church doing? You know what I mean? That's really what I'm getting at. The economics is not being addressed, but you have people coming to these churches giving their economics to the church. I was sitting service and they're asking for this tithe and
Man,
the church fund
And
and
they
the
give
preacher
money to the
fund, and
government.
this is not me against churches at all. I'm just saying that poverty is very easy to pimp. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter your angle, whether it's the church, whether it's capitalism, whether it's, another impoverished person seeing you in a lower position, so they're going to try to do something. Like, it's very easy to pick on somebody when they're down. So we have to understand that and know that we're vulnerable to that from different angles, not just the black church, but we expect the church to be uplifting, not extracting, right? So let's keep it moving. I'm gonna skip down to this one quote or this one piece that I highlighted. For 2 centuries, they did not earn a regular wage or even own their own bodies, but they often saved what money they could and pooled their savings to help buy their own and one another's freedom. So when we talk about slaves, being enslaved, right? We weren't slaves, and I love that distinction. We were enslaved, right? But there was a mindset that was adopted in that, but it didn't supersede the fight. I feel like that sometimes isn't said. Like we were rebellious against being enslaved, but we also understood that being rebellious isn't just about killing your slave master, like on some Nat Turner, right? It's also about, okay, I got my freedom, so I'm now gonna go help another get their freedom. That's being rebellious. Is being rebellious to self-indulgence and like self, just only focus on yourself. But it's also being rebellious in a sense economically, because now I'm using my funds to bring value to someone else, and now the group is stronger now because we're all coming from a place of liberation, or a place of more prosperity. Like we're still down in terms of we're not rich, but I got my freedom, you got your freedom. Now we could actually move around a little bit freer rather than being restricted. And we still had dangers back then. You just because you were free doesn't mean you were free of being able to walk out at night. They had sundown towns and all of these things that are very scary when you think about it. But regardless, we still went through the fire to help others. Is my key. Is that's we are in dire situations now. So if we can look at our ancestors and be like, oh damn, like in the heat of slavery, folks were buying freedom for others, whether it was their family or, I'm sure there were other connections, other family being made, what I'm saying, in those situations because we bond based off of our environment, right? So maybe you were separated from your family, but I'm sure there were folks that weren't blood related that still were related in the sense of, nah, I'm going to get out and you're going to get out. Like those kind of things I'm sure happen. Um, how can we adopt that mindset today? Is really the highlight of that part. Okay, let's go to 32. And let's head down to the second paragraph. Uh, Early African American cooperative economic action took many forms: mutual aid and beneficial societies, mutual insurance organizations, fraternal organizations, and secret societies, buying clubs, joint stock ownership among African Americans, and collective farming. W.E.B. Du Bois, in some efforts of American Negroes of their own social betterment and economic cooperation among Negro Americans, documents myriad examples of economic cooperation. So before this, there was Jessica Gorin Nimhart, right, which gave us this book that we're reading. We had W.E.B. Du Bois, who was doing a lot of research on cooperatives at the time while they were sprouting up. So we give thanks for him. So now we're able to look through the
Looking good,
lens,
sis?
his lens that
I say
he
looking
had
good.
back then. And so he named a new Z. Can you put yourself on mute for me?
Oh shit, my bad. I'm sorry, y'all.
Um, that he named a myriad, I like that word, a myriad of different types of cooperatives, and I think that's something to highlight, safe, so you can think about. Right? Let's review them one more time. Mutual aid, right? So that's basically I help you, you help me. You know, every even if that's not your main purpose, every cooperative should have some element of that, in my opinion. Some cooperatives that we were going to learn about helped folks get literacy before they got employment. So like, okay, you want to work with us? Cool. We're going to help you learn how to read on your way to, becoming a member in this cooperative because folks didn't know how to read. So that's like, something we take for granted now, but at that time that was like a game changer. So just thinking about that, like, okay, yes, we want you to be a part of our community, but we also want you to be at a higher level, so we're going to help you get there. Beneficial societies, I would say that's kind of like a mutual aid society. Mutual insurance organizations, I would like to go deeper on those. Fraternal organizations, so we know about those like the Kappas, the Steppers in the college campus, but also the Masons and other societies that you may have heard about you know, the Northern Lights. I believe though that's a female alternative to the Masons. Northern Stars. You know, these are organizations I've heard about a lot growing up. That I don't really know a lot of people that are in those organizations, but I'm sure I probably know them and don't know about you know what they do. But the point is, it's not about what the world knows. It's about how y'all move behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? So if we're a secret organization right now. If we kind of think about it, like yeah, we kind of let the world know we're doing this, but at the same time, it's just us. We don't have a bunch of eyes on us, and so you know we can move however we see fit. Like maybe our secret organization, our goals and objective is to you know make sure we're supporting each other's business, you know, whether folks know it or not. Like you might see me and not know that I'm connected with Milian over here with her business, or you know, maybe Raquel has a business that she's starting, or you know, they don't know that I'm over here supporting them. And it's not about what folks know; it's about the results. Shout out to those coming in the chat. You know, Andrew, what's up with it? I was born for greatness. I love that. Word slanger, yes. Peace to Dr. Wordslanger, you know, amazing poet based in West Oakland. Shout out to the lower bottom players. So all of those in the Instagram chat, we on Zoom. DM us if you want the link. We'll tap you in. We do this Monday through Thursday, 12:30 to 1. I'm just wrapping y'all in the conversation because I don't want to leave y'all out, you know. All right, and what other types of organizations? We have buying clubs. You know, so that's like us coming together. You know, we know about Costco. Wholesale is better for your pockets. So if we can come in, each put our money together to buy something that we all need, then we are effectively saving money. And over a year, you know, those savings can compound, and maybe those savings we could invest into something else that maybe the group needs, or maybe it's just money we save individually, but we're all helping each other, right? Circulating the dollar. Joint stock ownership. So we know about stocks, right? Um, you own a stock. Essentially, you're an owner in that company. If you own a Nike stock, you and however many other stock owners own a stock in that company. So that means you're entitled to however much that stock is worth. If it goes up in value, you can sell it and get that. If it goes down, you know, I would say that on a lesser scale, maybe that membership is not as liquid, meaning you can't just cash it out whenever you want to. But there's benefits to being a member in an organization, especially in cooperatives. You know, those can be listed out beforehand, and then folks know what they're getting into. But membership into a cooperative could prove very beneficial in many ways. You know, merging all of the different ones we talked about earlier in maybe a new form. Um, Maybe you get discounts on certain businesses that are in that collective. Maybe you get maybe you get like certain kind of bucks, like Oakland bucks. Like if you join the Oakland cooperative, you get Oakland bucks, and those Oakland bucks you could use in all over Oakland whenever you in the town. You know, the creativity. I know I'm around some creative people in this chat, so you know I'm just thinking out loud. Y'all might have some other examples. Um, and collective farming, right? So that's another thing I think about sometimes. Like, what if everybody in the hood just grew something, you know, in their windowsill, and it might not be a lot of food, but maybe you know, folks come together and make like a potluck in their neighborhood and like
Hey,
offer the
don't you
food.
make food? Sorry, excuse me. Don't you make food?
Oh yeah, I make food. Yeah,
See, there you go. I
exactly.
just really, I just really started cooking. You feel me? I was having people cook for me. I was that lazy, but
No,
yeah.
it's hey look, because we entrepreneurs, and so one thing I hear a lot is you know
Mhm.
I'd rather pay more for convenience, and I think there's something to that. I think for me though, eating out all the time is just a lot of money, so I'm I'm
It ain't
motivated to
about
save
eating out.
money.
It's just I was really having people cook for me. Like I would not cook because you feel me? I'm like I'm lazy. You feel me? When I get home, I want to chill. But
You supporting
I'm
somebody else's business though too, so
at
look,
the same time, when you're in tune with yourself and when you want to move and do stuff by yourself, cooking is like therapy. You feel me? You get in the kitchen, you can make a salad, some steaks, whatever, shrimp, all, you know, vegan meals. It's not that hard. I just never had the time. So
It's
you know,
time consuming for sure. I've been
yeah.
doing meal prep lately. You know, I
Oh
make
yeah.
I make these hummus wraps. Oh man, some hummus, some chickpeas, some mushrooms, little avocado. You know, pick your greens. I like arugula with some shredded carrots and smack. I make like a bunch of them in the nighttime, and then I eat them throughout the day. I might have some left over for the next day. Um,
Mm.
and by the end of the week, I'm like, dang, I ain't really spend no money on food like that. I spent like maybe $50, and that lasts me the whole week. You know, so.
Yeah.
Um, but at the same time, paying somebody
Same.
to make your
$30.
food
30. Yeah.
is also something like if you're moving around a lot and you don't have time, it's no shame in that. You know, support your local chefs. I know some vegan chefs. Shout out to my homie in Rosso Collective, Michael. He's a vegan chef. Brother Peace. He's also a chef. You know, and they make a lot of great vegan food. I'm pescatarian. I do like fish every now and again, so you might catch me with some salmon. You know what I'm saying? But I do like plant-based food a lot. You know, I love my chickpeas. Hummus is just so good to me. Quinoa. Man, I love smoothies all
Yeah.
day. You know,
Too.
so
You ever make garbanzo? What is it? Chickpea curry.
yes, yeah, I love curry flavored anything. Curry flavored chickpeas is bomb. Yeah.
In the right spot.
Um, so let's move to
Yo.
let me see, page 33. Under
Already.
collective resistance. Also, I just want to say, did anybody have a chance to look at the conference, um, the uh, uh, the Black Solidarity Cooperative Conference webinar? I'm gonna post it in the chat again. I really want y'all to just take a look at that because this first episode they go into the roots of cooperative rebellion. And the link to land. So that's another thing we'll be talking about too is the commons. You know, like land that is commonly owned versus land that is owned by a person, and the benefits to a commonly owned land versus the latter. Um, you know, ownership is something that's a very tricky thing when you talk about it, right? Like, do we really own land? Like yes, you can have your name on something. I just put it in the chat, y'all. But do you really own it? You know what I mean? And if you own it and it has resources that folks need, what does that really mean? You know, do you get to just charge an arm and a leg? You know, like what's his name? The dude that raised the price on the diabetic medicine. You know what I'm saying? To like $700. He raised it like 700% or something, which is ironic because he eventually got arrested for something else, for fraud. And yeah, that was an interesting story. But does ownership give you the right to price gouge? It's capitalism, right? So that would say that from that standpoint, it doesn't matter as long as the market will allow it, you could do it. But morally, is that right? You know what I'm saying? And then we have the government being able to eminently domain wherever you stay. They could say, you know what, this is ours. You know, if for whatever reason they see fit. But is there an eminent domain for collective rights? You know, like okay, the government says this is our land, but it's the land for the people. We're commandeering this land to make sure that it's accessible to the people. Like, imagine if they went to the biggest corporation, like, yeah, Facebook, we see you got all these acres of land, but y'all gonna have to figure out something else because we need this, because we need to make sure there's no homeless in what is it, Palo Alto. We need to make sure there's no homeless people in Palo Alto. So Facebook, you gotta give up your whole campus. All y'all folks working from home anyway. You don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be crazy. That would be a flip. I just realized it's 106. I've been yapping my gums. Um, so I'm gonna just wrap this up and say this last part. On page 33, it says the Underground Railroad was also a type of economic and social cooperation. The Underground Railroad was a cooperative. All right. So just keep that in your mind when you think about like the levels at which this cooperative work goes. You know, the Underground Railroad, freed a lot of slaves, and it was cross cultural because we had white people who helped us out. John Brown was a gangster. John Brown didn't play. So the history of John Brown is interesting. He was a abolitionist who went against white people violently at times because he didn't agree with slavery. And so morality knows no color. We appreciate all those who are on the side of freedom and liberation. And I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me and following along with me. So we'll be back tomorrow. Same black time, same black channel. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you. All right, have a good one, y'all.
Peace.
Thank you.
Have a good week, y'all. See you tomorrow.